In this video, we're going to be talking about another E word, and that's ending smoking. All right, we normally say smoking cessation, but I needed an E word, so I went with ending smoking. And if you've missed any other videos in the series, there's one on education, there's one on eating or your edibles, there's one on exercise, there's one on emotion management, education, I think I've said that, and then this one now on ending smoking. COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, is a disease that is lifestyle related, generally speaking. There are a small percentage of situations where it is genetically, the onset is genetic, but by and large, it is a function of lifestyle. And within the idea of function of lifestyle, we have to talk about smoking, because most people who contract COPD have smoked at some point. They may not have smoked in a long time. They may have quit 5 years, 10 years, 20 years early, but they have a history of smoking. Smoking has such a significant impact on your lungs. And so if you're a person who says to themselves, I want to breathe better and therefore live better, then I'm going to want to quit smoking. You might think, wow, maybe I'll use an e-cigarette, as part of my transition or whatever, so I can sort of still have that, or maybe I'm having a hard time quitting. Quitting smoking is a tough deal. I talked in another video about support. By and large, you will need support when you want to quit smoking. And just for expectation purposes, try and remember that, if I remember the stat correctly, it's about 7 times that is typical that a person will have tried to quit and then finally have been successful. 7 times. So it might take more, and you might be fortunate enough that it takes less. But get the support you need and end smoking if you are still smoking. Now, if you were hospitalized with an exacerbation and you had to be hospitalized long enough that you had to go without a cigarette, chances are you're not going to go back to smoking. So you've had a forced quit. But if you were just kind of short of breath and you went to see the doctor, and the doctor did a lung function test, and he said, well, it looks like you've got COPD, then my recommendation to you is to do whatever you can to quit. This is one of those situations, this is one of those topic areas where we really look at what we want and what we need to do. There isn't anyone who would say smoking is good for us. And now that you have this disease, you want to do what's best. Not what's not bad for you or not harmful, but you want to do what's best to give yourself the best possible outcome. Because remember, that's the context of this video series. So let's talk about our 3 questions that we're asking at the end of each one of these. First question is, what am I doing well with ending my smoking? Right? I'm not talking about how well you're smoking, but how well you're doing at ending your smoking. So a lot of this is going to be in your head and in your heart. Have you decided that you want to quit? Right? So maybe you've done that. I want to quit. All right, great. Second question I want you to ask. Second question is, what do you need to improve? So typically on this topic, we're going to say, if you're still smoking, the thing you need to do to improve is to quit smoking. And if that quit smoking looks like taking a record of how much I'm smoking and when I tend to smoke more, and then, okay, I did 4 packs a day, not 4 packs a day, 4 cigarettes this week every day. Next week is 3 cigarettes. The week after that is 2 cigarettes, whatever it happens to be, and you're tethering out, okay, but you know what you could do better when it comes to that. All right. And the third question that I always encourage you to ask is, what system or what process or what strategy can I put in place to help me do better in this particular area. So clearly, because I think support is very key here, I would say you want to be in a smoking cessation group, smoking recovery group, but to use that kind of language, so that you can be around people who are going through the same thing you're going through, and you can talk it out, and you can switch, you know, what your triggers, know what your triggers are, and then learn to put some things in place to manage those differently than you have typically been managing them. At the end of the day, as I try to say, I want you to breathe better so you can live better.